Hi there. Today we will begin our study of computer programming, or what is often referred to as coding. Coding is a really cool concept and an extremely useful tool that helps us use the strengths of computers to help us accomplish what would be a difficult task for a human. Check out this awesome video clip from BBC Learning for a brief intro to coding.
On a computer, you can do all sorts of things play games, do homework, or talk to friends. All these things are done using computer programs. But what are programs made from? Computer programs are made out of their own special language called code.
Please what, Mr. Mouse?
A computer can't think for itself, and you can't talk to it like a person. It needs computer programs so it knows what to do.
Step 100. Backwards.
Code is made out of words and numbers. Sometimes it is made from words you already know. You can learn how to put these words in order so the computer understands what to do.
Step 10. Forwards.
You can change the numbers and the words to choose what happens in your own program. There are lots more things you can do. It is your code, so you can choose. It's up to you and your imagination.
So now that you understand a little bit more about what coding is, we're going to dive right in and create our very own code. Keep in mind that you can create anything you want with code that you put your mind to. It's all up to your imagination. So first we're going to go to a website where we can type our code and run it. And you can find the link to this website on our class website under the resources tab, and it's just called JDoodle. We're going to be typing the instructions for the computer in this box right here where my cursor is. And then once we've typed enough instructions for the computer, we'll press this execute or play button right here to tell the computer to start going through the instructions step by step. And so we're going to start by telling the computer to say something or to print something to the screen. And we can do that by typing the command system.out.println and then a parenthesis and then quotes. And you'll notice that it finished the quotes for us. And so we can just type something in here. So for one thing about coding is it's really useful for solving everyday problems. Have you ever had a hard time falling asleep? Well, counting sheep is a great way to help your mind relax and get the rest you need. In this part of the video, we're going to use coding to make a computer program that counts sheep for you. Let's get started. So let's have the computer start by counting just one sheep. So in between the quotes, we're going to type one sheep, and then we're going to hit the execute button and see what happens. And make sure you have a semicolon at the end of every line, like I forgot there. And see how it printed out one sheep? Now we're going to have it do a little bit more. We're going to have the computer type count to 3 sheep by copying and pasting this command twice. And then we'll change the numbers to 2 and 3 respectively. Now, when you execute this, just as you might expect, it's going to print out 1 sheep, 2 sheep, and 3 sheep down below. But what if we are having a really hard time falling asleep? What if we needed to count to 100 sheep? Well, we could write 100 different commands. That would take way too long. And what if we needed to change it after that? Thankfully, there's a tool that the computer has built in to help us to do something like counting repetitively, and it's called a for loop. So the way we make a for loop is first we type the letters FOR for for, and then a parenthesis, and then we type int for int, and then space, and then and then equals, and we're going to start with counting at 1 because we want to count from 1 to 100. Then we're going to put again, the less than operator, an equal sign, and then 100 because we want it to count from 1 sheep to 100 sheep. And then we're just going to type I++, which means we'll count up by 1 each time. Then we'll put a curly brace, and you can find that near the P key on your keyboard. And just make sure you go over the guides if you need any help with finding keys on the keyboard. And then we're just going to simply type what we had before with a system.out.println, and then in there we're going to put those quotes again, and then we're just going to put sheep again. But before we type sheep, we're going to put I space and then plus. And this is going to make it so that it can count from 1 to 100. And if you click the execute button, we forgot a semicolon, but if you put the semicolon in there, you'll see that it counted from 1 to 100. And you can even put a space in there if you want, like this. So it's just that simple, just that easy. If we wanted, we could even change this 100 to a really big number, or we could start at a number greater than 1. Just be careful, because if you do something like 1,000,000, it'll take your computer a lot longer to count to that many sheep. And that's all there is to it. Feel free to play with this on your own and see what else you can do with coding. Try and see if you can get it to count by 1s, 2s, 5s, or more. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!